Hi, Duncan from Six5 here. In this video, we're going to talk about how to convert your actions and your tracking on your website in Universal Analytics or GA version 3 into GA version 4. And we're going to use Google Tag Manager to do it. Now, Google Analytics version 4 is relatively new. It's still not quite, it's out of beta, but it's not quite as full featured as Universal. But it's a really good idea to start concentrating on making sure that you're collecting as much data as you do in Universal as you do in GAV4. Now, some things are a little bit different, but one of the things you can do quite easily is convert your events, your custom events, for example, form submits, form completions, and push those into GA4 as well. So in this video, I'm going to show you how we do that, and we'll cover off how to just make that quick conversion inside of GTM. Now let's swap over and have a look at Google Tag Manager, and we'll go from there. We're looking at our own account here for the six5.com.au website. As you can see, I've got this form submit event, which is a Universal Analytics event tracking type, and it categorizes the event as a form. It pops in a friendly name for the form, looking up based on the ID, and then it gives us a label, which is that form action as well. Now, what we want to do is convert this into how that works on Google Analytics version 4. So what I'm going to do is start a new tag. And bear in mind, I've already got my version 4 set up, my config. So I'm going to go GA for event here. And I'm going to select my GA version 4 configuration tag that's already there. And then what should we name this? Well, we're going to go, it's an event, it's a form submit. So I'm going to keep that consistent and just call it form submit as well. And just give our tag a label as well. Okay. All right. So that's good. So the next thing we're going to do is going to add a couple of parameters to this. So what I want to do is, oops, I need to type action here, don't I, rather than admin. And the action is going to be the form action, and the, what should we call it? Let's call it name. And that's going to be the result of my lookup table, the friendly naming from this form, all right? So basically that's going to tell me that it gets submitted, and that's going to tell me which form it is that's been submitted, all right? So that's fairly straightforward, and that's the event parameters. And then in triggering, what I want to do is use the exact same triggering as we do in Universal. The trigger is the same because the trigger is based on what happens on the website. It's got nothing to do with where we're pushing that data to. So I'm just going to go WP form submits, and I will save that. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to open both of these up side by side. On the left here, I've got my Universal tag. The track type is an event. And on the right, I've got my GAV4, and this is a GAV4 event, okay? Now, my event name, I'm just going to call this a form submit because we'll then be able to see that. I've used my action as my friendly naming. Oh, so I actually got these two the wrong way around. So let's just pop those back. And obviously the good thing here and the important thing is obviously keeping that consistency so that when you have to change reporting at some point in the future, they're actually in the same place and everything looks the same. So I've got my action is my friendly naming. The label there, which we've called name here, is going to be the form action. And we don't need to create the UID. That's the same as what we've done up here in this configuration tag. So kind of this item here matches this item up here, which is the config tag. And then the last thing is we're going to trigger it at the same time. So there's my form submit, and there's my form submit over here. So that means the triggering is the same. So when we test this inside of the preview system, we'll be able to watch these and see both of them fire. So let's go and do that now. Okay, so let's run up a preview window. And we're going to just connect to our website. That's going to pop open a new window. Everything's going to go green. All right, awesome. We've got Tag Assistant connected. And all I'm going to do is just the footer of the homepage here. I'm just going to type in an email address just so I can subscribe to the newsletter. And by the way, you should subscribe to our newsletter just once a month with a good selection of information about cyber resilience, WordPress, Google Workspace, hints and tips, anything Google in it. And if you did find this video useful, please give it a like and a subscribe down below. Click the little bell to be notified when we do a new video, one every week. All right, so now let's go back to the preview here over on Tag Assistant. And what we can see is we've got our event here, which is WP Form Submit. And you can see we've now got a UA Form Submit and a GA4 Form Submit. So now, if I just pull over our analytics, you can see now we've got a subscription form. There is the event label. And if I click on that action, it's going to tell us the page that it was done. So that was obviously the label. So that's pretty cool. So that means that that's working. And now let's do the same thing and just go have a quick look over in in GA4. So GA4 obviously looks a little bit different. What we're going to do is just hit real time here. And here we go. So we've got our views, and then over on the right, we've got event count by event name. So you can see there's one form submit there in the last 30 minutes. And if I click on that, it gives me that there's an action, some campaign information. Let's click on action. And there we go. It tells me that it is the subscription form that has been submitted. So pretty awesome, but allows you to obviously just make sure you've got lots of historical data, because at some point Universal Analytics will stop working. So really important to start actually getting that information over into GA4 as soon as possible. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.